Man, Boz Scaggs did us dirty with that one, the dirty lowdown. But what does that mean?
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Mindset channel. Hey, today we're getting into Boz Scaggs and that dirty lowdown song that he had, man. That thing was hot, you know what I mean? Have you ever heard a song so hot that made you take your lunch money and go buy the record? That's how hot this song was in the 1970s. We're gonna get into Boz Scaggs' life, that hit record and what it meant, and the highs and lows of his life. So get ready as we go into Boz Scaggs, the dirty lowdown. Yeah, guys, William Roy Scaggs, or Boz Scaggs as we know him, was born on June 8, 1944 in Canton, Ohio. His first instrument was the cello, and he learned to play it at the age of 9. He later received a scholarship to attend a private school called St. Mark's in Dallas. This is where a classmate gave him the nickname Boz. You know how kids do.
There was a get acquainted party on a Saturday or Saturday night before the school year started. I was pretty much a hayseed from off in the countryside, and I guess they were just having me on. And this guy came up to me and said, is your name really Bosley Scaggs? And you're from Bosley, North Carolina? And I thought I'd go along with the joke, and I said, yeah. When school started in a few days, and it came time for me to deny that that was my name, of course, the more they pinned it on me, the more harder it stuck.
But his sound, pure California cool mixed with Stax record soul. He got a start in the 1960s with his boy Steve Miller. Yeah, that's Steve Miller. Playing in bands like the Ardells and eventually the Steve Miller Band. But he was a bit hard to categorize, falling somewhere in between rock, soul, and a singer-songwriter. Yet, Boz was looking for his own lane, and by the early 1970s, he was carving out a signature sound. That sound exploded on his 1976 album, Silk Degrees. If you were going to make a list of albums that define the yacht rock aesthetic, Silk Degrees by Boz Scaggs would have to rank way up there near the top. And it's likely that album wouldn't have made anywhere near the impact it did if it weren't for one smash single.
Babies in the running round, hanging with the crowd.
And the name of that track, Lowdown. That was the one.
To the sad, sad truth, the dirty lowdown.
I remember that groove like it was yesterday. A perfect cocktail of R&B, funk, and yacht rock. The kind of record that rolled in like a summer breeze. Slick, stylish, and laid back, but with teeth to it. But here's the twist. Boz didn't cook that groove up all by himself. The musicians behind Lowdown, they were studio beasts. Two names you need to know, David Paich and Jeff Porcaro. These two dudes were so tight, they eventually broke off and started a little band, you know what I'm saying? Toto? Yeah, that Toto. Africa, Rosanna.
Boz asked me if I'd be interested in writing some songs with him here. For his next album, he hadn't done an album in about 2 years. I was writing songs, I was really into writing songs at the time, and not even close to being an established songwriter.
And Boz was about one of the first artists that us as studio musicians that we had worked for on his album that gave us unbelievable freedoms as far as playing on the album. We were all real tight together on making that album. It was like, a unit.
Along with David Hungate, Toto would soon become a hit-making machine in its own right. So in a way, Boz Scaggs was the lab where the Toto sound got tested. Silk Degrees was a blueprint, not just for Boz, but for an entire era of polished pop soul fusion. And Lowdown, that was the masterpiece. So smooth and cool, you could ice skate on it, but deep enough to make you want to take a ride with it. When you first hear it, Lowdown sounds like a sexy jam you play in a lounge somewhere. And yeah, it is that, but peel back the beat, and what you've got is a man calling someone out with style. You see, in slang, the lowdown means the real story, the unfiltered truth about someone's actions or intentions. So when Boz says she's getting the lowdown, he's really saying, this man you're entangled up with, you're seeing what he's really about now, and is ugly. Boz is watching this woman get played by a slick-talking guy, the kind who probably knows how to dress and dance, but doesn't know how to treat her. And the lyrics are him basically telling her what time it is. He's not yelling, he's observing and kind of whispering at her. I can remember doing that back in the day.
Saying you bought us this and that. How much you done spent? I swear.
Old Scaggs sings it all with a mix of hipster cool and soulful emotion. That formula carried him an awful long way on Silk Degrees, and Lowdown served as a smooth springboard. But you know what? Lowdown almost never saw the light of day. Most people don't know that Scaggs and his studio cohorts loved Lowdown, but they didn't hear it as a single. But luckily, a Cleveland R&B DJ locked onto it and started playing it straight off the album, and often. The feedback convinced the record company to send it out to other R&B stations, which triggered a lot of top 40 pop stations too. So the record company decided they had to release this thing as a single on its own. And when they did, its success opened the floodgates on the album's popularity. This song went to the top of most charts and number 3 on the Billboard pop charts. The industry was now paying attention to Boz and the song. Lowdown was certified gold and won Boz a Grammy in 1977 for Best R&B Song, a major move for an artist that looked like him blending into the soul scene. He picked up more nominations over the years, like in 1998 and 2019 for Best Contemporary Blues Album, showing he never stopped evolving.
Run around, hanging with the crowd, putting your business in the street and talking out loud.
Now let's humanize him for a minute. Boz married Camilla Storniola back in 1971, but they divorced in 1980. Boz won custody of their 2 sons, Oscar and Austin. Sadly, Oscar passed away in 1988 from a drug overdose. This is a heartbreak that would stay with Boz. Then later he married Dominique Gioia in 1992, and together they started Scaggs Vineyard in Napa Valley in the mid-90s. Yeah, my man went from silky vocals to silky reds, if you know what I mean. But it would all burn down in 2017 when the couple's house was destroyed as a result of the Northern California fires. They lost everything while he and his wife were on tour at the time. Now here's the real kicker. In 2025, at age 80, Boz is still touring. He's on his Rhythm Review tour, performing in intimate venues, keeping that voice alive in real time. It's not just nostalgia, it's legacy maintenance. The man is still showing up. While some other artists fade quietly, Boz leans into the mic and reminds you that real musicians don't retire, they just change venues. That's right, man. Next time you hear this song, just realize how much went into it, man, and how much came out of it. Total. Boz Scaggs, A Funky Groove, A Wonderful Life. Man, I tell you what. I hope you guys appreciate that, and I'm going to see you next time on the Music Mindset channel. I'm Mr. Mindset. Thanks, guys.